Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Yeji, like Yeji. My channel is all about saving money while traveling by using points and miles because let's be real, traveling can get expensive. So if you don't have to spend money, why would you, right? So if that sounds interesting, let's be internet besties and consider subscribing below and let's get into today's video. So today I wanted to talk about 10 things that I think is important to know in your credit card journey. And let's start with number 1. The first is understanding your credit score and what makes up your credit score. So your credit score is made up of multiple things. That would include like payment history, how well have you paid off the card, or do you have debt that you carry on the card. Also the age of the credit card. So how long you've had the credit card for, like for years, or was it for months, or how recent did you open up a new credit card. It also includes credit utilization, which basically means that how much do you utilize your card. So let's say your credit limit is $10,000 and technically you're supposed to limit like to 10% of that credit utilization. So 10% would be like $1,000. If you use less than 10%, it's better for your credit score instead of using all 100% that they give you. So instead of using 10,000, you'd only limit to like 1,000 or less per month. Also, one of the most important things that people misunderstand is that less cards mean better credit score, but it's actually not the case. So if you go on Credit Karma, it says that 21 or more credit accounts open is actually better for you. So lenders, whether that's a bank or you're trying to get like a mortgage or like a loan for a car, the more accounts essentially that you have shows to them that you are a trustworthy person. So they're most likely going to give you that loan. So that includes with credit cards as well. So the more credit cards you have, I would say like 11 plus credit cards, you would be closer to having a higher credit score than having like lower credit cards open because lenders look at that. So the perfect credit score is 850. If you have more credit cards open, that will help you achieve that perfect credit score of 850. So of all the things that make up your credit score, I would say that the most important is your payment history. If you pay your credit cards on time and don't carry a balance, which some people might think that carrying a balance is good for your credit score, but it's actually not. It's better to pay off your credit card each month. I'd say you are good to go. So number 2 falls into number 1 a little bit, but I just wanted to expand on it. So it's never carrying a balance. So that means each month you need to pay off your credit card. If you carry a balance and you pay interest, that kind of negates the points that you're going to be earning. So I wouldn't do that. So what my husband and I like to do is to use the credit card like a debit card essentially, because if you fall into the trap of having to carry a balance, then that's not really financially smart. So use the credit card like a debit card and pay off the balance in full. So normally credit card companies will tell you, oh, you have a minimum payment due of whatever number. Well, ignore that and pay off the full statement balance. So let's say the month of May, your credit card balance is $500 and your statement closing date is on the 5th. So then you'll have until June 5th to pay off that $500 that you used in May. Each statement closing date is different depending on when you open the credit card. But if you don't like your statement closing date, you can always call the bank and choose a date that works for you. Number 3 is understanding the different credit card applications by banks. So each bank has different rules regarding their credit cards. It's important to understand those rules because if you don't follow those rules, essentially, they're going to deny you opening up a credit card. And the whole point of opening up new credit cards is not just to help you with your credit score, but also to get those welcome bonuses, right? Because it's easier to accumulate a bunch of points at one time through the welcome bonus than actually having to put spend on the card. So understanding the rules are very important. Number 4 is thinking long term. So what happens to a lot of people in the credit card game, including myself, is you think short term because you're bonus hunting and you want all these credit cards, and after a year or so you want to downgrade them. And that's fine, but there are certain cards that are like keeper cards and it's better to have them like long term. So for instance, the Amex Platinum is a long-term keeper card for me. So when we opened the Platinum card, we knew we were going to keep it long-term and we weren't going to like cancel the card or downgrade the card. Same goes with a bunch of like 2% or 2x like cashback cards that you can get points instead of cashback if you have like a higher tier card. Those I would say are all like keeper cards. So it's up to you and your family what you consider long-term cards. But every time you open up a new card, you should think about whether that card is gonna fit your portfolio long-term. Number 5 is to make sure you use that card for the right category. And my husband is like the worst. I had to literally write down different categories for him so that he doesn't forget to use like what card for like groceries or what card for like gas, for instance, and what card to use for like literally like even haircuts, because he wouldn't remember like which card to use. So if you have a spouse like that, then you need to teach them which card is used when so that you can get the bonuses for that category. If you're not using the right card for the right category, then you're missing out a lot, you know? So that's important. Number 6 is having loyalty. So whether that's to an airline or to hotels, you should have one or two or even multiple hotels or airlines that you are loyal to. The reason I say this is because it's easier to just consolidate, you know, and climb the hierarchy of like loyalty program that you're using than not having loyalty, because then you're missing out on status, and having a status with certain brands is very important. So whether it's like a hotel for like Marriott or Hyatt or IHG, or airlines, whether that's Delta, United, or American, it's important to have loyalty with one brand or multiple, because usually brands award you when you're loyal. So hotels, a lot of the times they give you like free nights or points, or sometimes you can get like upgrades to suites or like free breakfast. So that's important. With airlines, you know, they give you like lounge access. So it's nice to have something like extra, you know, for being loyal. So I'd say choose a brand that works for you and be loyal. Number 7 is using cashback portals. Now, a lot of people don't double dip essentially when they're shopping online. I say double dip because you're getting points for using a certain credit card, let's say like 2x. That's just basic, right? You get 2x or 1.5x depending on the credit card. But if you use through a cashback portal, they give you cash back on the purchase that you made. So there are several cashback portals. My favorite is Rakuten, and I don't use Rakuten for cashback, but I use it because they give you Amex points, and to me, Amex points are very valuable. So instead of getting cashback every quarter, I would get points transferred into my Amex account. Airlines also have this cashback portal. So whether it's Southwest or United or American, a lot of them have ways for you to earn miles to that airline when you shop online. There's actually a website where you can track which airline or cashback portal gives you the most money back, and that website is called Cashback Monitor. I'll leave it in the description box so you guys can go check it out. But basically, you kind of customize it according to which brand or which airline or like cashback portal that you like best. And every time you shop online, you can kind of go on there and see which one gives you the most cash back at the time, because they always change. So it's just a nice tool just to quickly compare before you make a purchase. So utilizing a cashback portal is just gonna help you get more points and reward you. So you should use it. And number 8 is similar to the cashback portal, but this time it's eating out. So every time you eat out, if your card is connected to the portal online, then they'll give you that brand's like miles or points on top of like the restaurant category that you're getting with a credit card. So we use the Amex Gold for restaurants because that has 4x, but we also use the American Airlines like eating portal. And if you connect your Amex card or whichever card to that portal and search for restaurants and pick a restaurant from that list, then you can kind of like double dip, similar to like the online shopping. A lot of like airlines and hotels have these like eating out portals. So all you have to do is just Google it and just check out whichever hotel or airline that you're loyal to, and just pick one and use that. But something to keep in mind is that you can't use 2 portals at the same time, because it's kind of like the same thing and they all like know your account. So if you have an account with American Airlines, you can't use that and get like Marriott Bonvoy points as well. You have to kind of pick which one you prefer. So number 9 is just something good to keep in mind, is that don't hoard points, because this credit card game is always changing. Airlines will charge like a certain number of miles, and then next thing you know, it's like double or triple, because you know they go with the whole like dynamic pricing thing. Same thing with like cash. If you're spending cash, you know, certain times throughout the year is more expensive because it's like the holidays or whatnot. Points are kind of the same way. So it's important to have points. Yes, for the next year, maybe you guys are planning to travel somewhere as a family, then it's important to like hoard enough points for that trip the next year. But if you are hoarding points for like 2-3 years, those points might not be as worth it. So it's better just to keep spending those points, because you don't know when these programs are gonna change. And number 10 is having a second player. So like a 2-player mode, as we call it. That basically just means that you should have another player. So for instance, I'm player 1 and my husband's player number 2. And I take care of his credit cards, and I tell him which credit cards to open at what time of the year or like what month. I pretty much keep track of all his finances. But anyway, it's important to have a second player because that kind of helps you boost your points, and it's easier to achieve that dream vacation you guys been meaning to go with 2 players and opening up credit cards for 2 people versus having only 1 player and saving points that way. And a quick example would be, let's say you guys want to take a trip to the Maldives, for instance, and so you're trying to build your points pretty much. Well, if you both open up the same credit cards and you open up credit cards every like 3 months, let's say, well, you're gonna accumulate points a lot faster, right, than only one person opening up a credit card. I know I said 10 points that are important to know, but I'm just gonna add a bonus here because this one's important too. So if you have a business, it's good to open up business credit cards. You can open up credit cards even without having an LLC. You can just have it like a sole proprietor, which just means like you do like a side hustle, you sell something on Etsy or even like secondhand things on Poshmark. That's a business. And the good thing about that is it doesn't affect your personal credit score because it's a business. Therefore, even if you open up that card and you close that card, make sure it's been a year before you close that card. That way the banks don't like claw back the points. But if you have to cancel a card, well, it's on the business, so it doesn't affect your personal score, which is amazing. So if you can, open up business credit cards as well, because a lot of the banks have really good bonuses for business credit cards. Well, there you have it. These are 10 points that are just good to know for your credit card journey, and that it's just good to understand whether it's your credit score or credit cards in general. Just things to keep in mind to help you grow your points so that you can go on that dream vacation that you've been dreaming about. Anyway, that's it for today. If you guys found this video helpful and informative, don't forget to like and subscribe below, and I'll see you guys next time with a different video. Bye!